living in Germany and having been coming back to India since I was a baby. I've spent every summer holiday in my school days in India. I did my schooling for 5 years in Calcutta. That's where my love and passion for Indian football came about. My uncle took me as a 10-year-old kid to East Bengal, to the Kolkata Maidans, and I went to a local Kolkata Football League match in front of 30,000 people. And as a 10-year-old kid, you can get impressed by that surrounding, that atmosphere and buzz which is there in Kolkata. And since then I've been interested in Indian football. I then, as was, in my early days in university, I started IndianFootball.com, which just happened, and everything else is sort of past in history. And that's my start of my involvement in Indian football. I always wanted to be a journalist, and with a focus either on current affairs or on sports. And through my things that I used to do with Indian football, the involvement with Indian football has come from that. With Nirmal Chhetri and Goodwin Franco being the latest players to have a go at trials and training in Europe, I think it's a good sign for Indian football that Indian footballers are getting the opportunity. We had Shubhrat Pal and Gauram Singh, who were Vestaland a month earlier. And that's a good sign. I remember the days when Baichung first went to Bury in 1999, where he went to Aston Villa. He was at Fulham. And that was 1999, and then nothing happened a long while. Then Sunil had the chance in England, and it didn't happen with Queen's Park Rangers. He then had a trial with Glasgow Rangers with JJ. But it's taken a long time. Europe is certainly looking at Indian football, but I think we lack the quality of players to actually compete in European football at the moment. When you look at the IMJR proposed league, the Indian Super League as it's being called at the moment, the issue remains that football is the only sport in the world which has one system, a global system, which is set by FIFA, which starts at the top. We're talking about the top layer of football in India. But I've learned over the last 2-3 years that India works a little differently, and certain people call it Tamasha League, or the IPL is called Cricketainment. And you need to infuse that. And the I-League has not been able to catch the imaginations of the people over the last 6 years since it's been installed as an official professional league. The little dose of vitamin C that you could give the I-League is being taken away. I don't see a roadmap over a 3, 5 or 7 year period of how I-League and the Indian Super League either coexist or do they merge somewhere down the road. And that is the question I think that needs to be asked by the All India Football Federation and everyone involved and all stakeholders of how do you take this forward, because the I-League has improved over the last few years certainly. You have Pune FC who are doing very well on and off the field, and I think this off the field work is very crucial. And you have Bangalore FC who are top of the table, who have come out of nowhere. Well, looking at I-League kickoff timings, I think the biggest issue is the infrastructure, and I think that is something which hopefully that dose of vitamin will come from IMG Reliance, that they improve the infrastructure. I think the Under-17 World Cup is a massive thing for India, because we will have for that tournament 6 world-class stadiums, world-class training facilities. So that is in the midterm a big boost for the I-League. The I-League's biggest weakness is that a channel like 10 Sports, which does a lot of work around its football on 10 Action, with European football, they even show Brazilian football. They of course have Champions League. It's difficult for them, I think, to slot Indian football on a Saturday, on a Sunday. India played Japan in a World Cup qualifier in 2004, and the floodlights went off at halftime. And the whole Japanese team and their then Brazilian coach Zico was sitting in the dark of the Salt Lake Stadium. And that has happened X number of times at the Salt Lake Stadium over the last decade. Now you have winter kickoffs in Kalyani at 1:45 p.m. It's not good for Indian football, but as long as the infrastructure is not there, you don't have a solution to it. So the infrastructure needs to develop for that to actually move forward. The Under-17 World Cup coming to India in 2017 is most probably the game changer for Indian football.